Over the past week, I tested several free AI image generators to see what you can actually create without paying a single dollar. Some tools are easy but limited, while others can handle more detailed scenes, but most beginners get confused and don't know where to start from. In this video, I'll show you 3 free AI image generators that really work, each one with its own strength, and we'll start with a tool that's simple and beginner friendly, move to one that gives you more control over confusing scenes, and finish with a tool that can create detailed, clear images almost automatically. By the end, you'll understand the strengths and limits of these free tools, so you can decide which one fits your needs properly. The first free image generator I tested was Bing Image Creator, and I started with it because it's the easiest one to use. You just open the website, type what you want, and it gives you 4 images. Here's what I'll type: a cozy bookstore on a rainy evening, warm lights inside, reflections on the wet street, cinematic, realistic. When I generated this in Bing, the overall feeling of the image was actually very close to what I described. The bookstore had a warm yellow light inside, and the street outside looked wet with light reflecting on the ground. The mood of the picture felt calm and cozy, and 2 of the 4 images looked good enough that I could easily use them for something like a blog post or a thumbnail without changing much. When I looked closer at the images being created, I noticed some small details that weren't perfect. For example, the reflections and shadows were there, but they weren't always very sharp or real looking. The images look more digitally painted. From a normal viewing distance, these things aren't very noticeable, and the image still looks good. The mood, lighting, and colors work together nicely, which makes the image feel complete at first look. To test it even more, I made the prompt more challenging, and I added more people inside the bookstore and asked for a clear sign above the door with readable text. The overall image still looked nice, and the lighting stayed warm and inviting, but some small problems became more obvious, like some faces looked a little unnatural. Another issue is that everyone in the scene is doing the same thing. It feels a bit static, and one person inside the shop appears to be reading with their feet outside the window, which breaks the realism. When more people were included, the spacing between them didn't always feel natural, like they were placed there without fully fitting into the scene. Even so, Bing handled most of the scenes really well. The lighting still looked good, the colors stayed balanced, and the atmosphere was cozy. The AI understands mood and environment better than many other free tools, and it gives you quick results without needing any special settings or extra effort. The main thing is, the simpler your scene is, the better it performs, and as you add complexity in it, the more people, text, or objects cause it to show its limits. So after spending time testing, I would say Bing is great if you want something fast, easy, and beginner friendly. It's strong for simple and clean images, more importantly, if you care about mood, lighting, and general composition. But if your scene has more detailed requirements, like multiple people interacting naturally, clear text, or more complex objects, the results may not be perfect. This doesn't mean Bing is bad. In fact, it's still one of the easiest ways to get high-quality free images. The difference really becomes clear when you look at the next tool, which handles difficult scenes and detailed prompts in a way that Bing can't. That's where you start seeing which tool is better for which type of project. The next free AI image generator I want to show you is Stable Diffusion, which is accessed through the Dream Studio web interface. This tool gives you more control over how your images look and lets you experiment with creative ideas that would be hard to achieve in simpler tools. Stable Diffusion is powerful because it doesn't just guess what you want, but it follows your instructions in detail. You can decide the style, the lighting, the mood, and even subtle elements in your scene. For example, if you want to create a cozy coffee shop scene, you can type something like small coffee shop with wooden tables, warm morning sunlight coming through the window, people reading books, soft reflections on the floor, realistic texture. The AI will capture each of these details, giving you images that feel more complete and lifelike. One thing that makes Stable Diffusion stand out is control over image size and composition. And if you choose a bigger image, the details in textures, objects, and backgrounds are much clearer. Smaller images generate faster if you just need a quick concept. Sometimes they miss tiny specific details. This balance is useful depending on whether you want speed or more clear results. Another advantage is variation generation, and when you type a prompt, Stable Diffusion gives you at least 2 versions of an image at once, and each one can look slightly different, and this lets you choose the version that best matches your idea. Maybe one has perfect lighting, but the other has better color balance. Then you can take the best one, adjust one small detail, like add more sunlight on the tables, or make the colors warmer and generate again. This way, you make your image better step by step without starting over. Stable Diffusion also supports image-to-image editing, which is very helpful if you already have an idea or a rough sketch. You can upload an image and ask the AI to improve it, change the style, or add new elements. Like if you drew a basic sketch of a forest, you can ask the AI to turn it into a bright morning scene with soft fog and detailed trees, keeping your original composition. This feature saves time and makes your workflow much smoother. Even if you're a beginner, you you can create more complex scenes than you could in Bing. You can have multiple characters interacting, objects arranged naturally, and backgrounds that match the mood you want. For example, you could create a scene with children playing in a park, a dog running nearby, and sunlight filtering through trees, and Bing might struggle with all of these details working together, but Stable Diffusion can handle it, as long as you guide it clearly. Stable Diffusion gives you more flexibility and power without requiring you to pay for a subscription, and it's perfect for anyone who wants to take creative control, experiment with multiple variations, and improve images step by step. By using this tool, you can make images that look more detailed, polished, and closer to professional results. And if you think this tool is impressive, the next AI generator goes even further, letting you create detailed scenes with minimal effort and producing professional-looking images almost right away. And that brings us to the third free AI image generator, which is Perchance AI. This tool is not like other random ones, because Perchance AI mainly focuses on making AI image generation simple, fast, and completely free to use. You don't even need to create an account, and there are no difficult technical settings that you will need to understand before generating images. You just simply open the website, type a specific description of the type of image you want, and the AI will generate the results for you. I'll type a woman reading a book under a street lamp, a cat walking nearby, puddles reflecting neon lights, people walking in the background, realistic style, evening mood. And when I generated the images, the first thing that I noticed was how quickly Perchance produced the results for me. Within a matter of a few seconds, I generated many different versions of the scene. The atmosphere still felt cozy and cinematic, and the results looked surprisingly amazing considering that the tool is completely free. They're not all perfect, like these ones with random neon lights on the pavement, but overall, the images came exactly like the prompt. One interesting thing about Perchance is that it lets you generate images very quickly, and up to 6 images at once. If one result isn't quite what you want, you can simply generate another version of it right away, and the AI will create a different interpretation of your prompt. This makes it easy to explore different variations of the same idea without spending much time fixing technical settings. However, while testing it more, I noticed that Perchance focuses more on simplicity than detailed control. You can describe the scene in detail, but the AI takes care of most of the decisions in the background, generating different explanations of your prompt each time. Because of that, some sections like objects, faces, or text inside the image may not always be perfectly accurate. But even with that, the results can still look surprisingly good, especially because we know that this tool is completely free to use. This makes Perchance very useful if you want to quickly generate ideas, create concept images, or experiment with different scenes without you having to spend your time dealing with any difficult settings. Overall, Perchance makes AI image generation very approachable, mostly for beginners who just want to type an idea and instantly see what it looks like. It's the kind of tool that lets your ideas come to life exactly as you imagined. Now, these free AI image generators are a great way to start experimenting with AI, and tools like Bing, Stable Diffusion, and Perchance can already create some really interesting results. But while testing them this week, I noticed something important. The moment you try to generate more detailed scenes, clearer faces, or images that look truly professional, free tools start hitting their limits very quickly. And that's where a lot of people get stuck, because they don't know which AI image generators actually produce the best results right now. So if you want to see the best AI image generators in 2026 and which ones create sharper, more realistic images almost instantly, click the video on the screen where I break them down and show you which tools are actually worth using. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.